Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to House of Joy.
Welcome back.
We're so glad you're here, and we are so glad to be here. Don't mind me, if you're watching on YouTube, wearing my red... Is this plaid apron? We've been in work mode today.
You have been in
I've been on my grind today, getting ready for Thanksgiving, doing my Thanksgiving table. We are redoing a room upstairs.
You actually have a lot going on. Like in every inch of the house right now. And
I do.
You're constantly like
fretting from
the
other.
upstairs, the downstairs, to you are on
the fact that you could get me seated in this chair for
it's a miracle.
Few minutes for a podcast.
She'd only do it for you guys.
But we are so happy to be here. We always love sitting together, chatting for the pod. So thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about confidence today. And we're going to talk about confidence maybe in a way that you haven't maybe thought about it before or heard it before. But I do find that women, especially in midlife, now you might say this is true or not true for, friends in your age group. But I think women in midlife, maybe who never struggled with this before, will go through kind of a dip in confidence where they don't feel sure of themselves, or they just have this lack of confidence in who they are and, what they were called to do or whatever. And I want to talk about it today. We've been brainstorming about this, how this is something that you already have. And I do think that the more you live as your true self, you have it. But we're going to talk about it today in a way that maybe you haven't heard it talked about before.
Yeah.
Just the books that I've read and the coaches that I've worked with, I have a different way of thinking about confidence. So I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about it. There is a misconception, I feel like, about confidence that and I think it's just easy for us to feel this way, that something has to change in your life. Or your situation, or
like
your
I gotta
success,
get in shape, or I gotta have this certain thing happen.
Something has to change for you to feel confident.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even consciously know that you feel that way. But usually when you really think about it, it's like, okay, if I looked a little bit different, or if I did this thing a little bit different, or if I got recognized in this way, then I would feel it.
Yeah. And the thing that I noticed that's really important is that it really does affect your relationships. And so if you can learn to live in your confidence, and especially the way we're going to talk about it today, I think it helps you show up in such a better way in your relationships.
And the funny thing is then once you're showing up like that, then those things you thought were the ones that are going to give you the confidence.
Yeah.
You get them because you found the confidence within yourself already.
Exactly right. And I do think that very often, I talk a lot in my programs about true self and false self. Often the lack of confidence that tends to hinder us in our lives and keep us living small and keep us not trying things that we want to, or keep us kind of in a needy, seeking validation place in our relationships. I think that when we're living as our true self, those things kind of fall away.
Yeah.
And we just start living more as who we really are. And I think we can experience a lot more true connection with other people, because I've experienced this a time or two in my life, like a lack of confidence, and it really impacted my relationships. So I think this is really important. And I think especially my age group, I bet your age group's kind of suffers with this too.
I was going to say, I feel like an interesting point is when I first started wedding planning, it weirdly made me feel like kind of subconscious about, what am I saying? Not subconscious.
Yeah. Self-conscious.
Self-conscious.
Yeah.
About my choices and like the decisions I made. And I felt really like not confident about what I wanted it to be. Yeah. And I got really like in my head about it, which then was making me not make decisions and feeling almost bad about myself. And it's funny, once I finally let that go, the decisions just literally felt like, okay, they just were so easy, and it ended up being so great.
Yes.
But it's a weird time because,
you're kind of questioning everything.
Yeah, and then everyone's getting married. So everything you're thinking someone is doing, or then you see something, you're like, oh, that was like way better than what I thought. It's just a weird comparing time.
Yeah.
And I was getting really like caught up in the inability to make a decision because I felt like not confident in myself at all.
Yeah.
And it was like that at the beginning, but I feel like we go through seasons where kind of all the people that you're doing life with are in similar seasons.
Yeah.
So it's easy to compare.
Yes. I will say this too. It kind of ties into what you're saying, and I think will help us understand it better. We often think of confidence as like my ability to do anything. And when I first started learning life coaching and working with a lot of life coaches, they framed it more as your ability to feel anything.
Ooh, that's really
Isn't
good
that
and
so
very true.
Good. Like your ability to regulate your nervous system, regulate yourself while feeling uncomfortable, while feeling rejected, while feeling like basically your ability to tolerate a wide range of emotions and still show up as your true self.
Tolerate being uncomfortable and maybe being wrong, or maybe doing the wrong thing or making the wrong decision.
Yeah, and reminding yourself, oh, these are just feelings. I can feel anything.
And I don't have to base my feelings on myself of the outcome of these situations.
Right.
Because I think that was really the bottom line of why I felt like it was so hard to make decisions is because I really wanted the outcome to be this picture perfect thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm basing my confidence on the outcome of this thing that really I can't fully control.
Yeah. And we've been doing this challenge with some of my coaches where a visibility challenge where they're putting themselves out there, some of them for the very first time. And if you think about it in that instance, it's like confidence, not that you think, oh, I'm so good at this, I'm going to kill it, but confidence in the sense of this is going to feel uncomfortable. I might experience embarrassment or rejection or shame, and I am confident that I can allow for all of those emotions.
It's just so counterintuitive to what you think confidence is, because when you think about it, you're like, oh, it's the absence of feeling embarrassed or feeling...
Exactly. That's what we think.
Yes, we think it's like...
And it's actually the opposite.
No, it's feeling every bit of
all of that.
Your human emotions.
Your human emotions.
And being vulnerable about it.
Yes.
And that is
and still being able to show up as your true self.
Yeah.
Without, wearing masks or pretending like you don't feel that way. No,
right.
It's like being willing to say,
I feel this way.
I felt kind of embarrassed, but I'm still going to do it. Showing up anyways. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so if you think about it that way, this is really a skill that we can all cultivate. And really the skill is learning to allow for the tolerance for hard emotions.
Yeah. And it's so much easier said than done.
Oh my gosh. I know. I was telling them this when I was talking about some of my experiences as I have over the last 10 or 15 years, put my work out in the world. And there's been plenty of times where it didn't resonate. It's been rejected. It didn't turn out the way I thought.
Yeah.
But I believe in the things that I'm sharing so much that I have had to build my capacity to tolerate all of those emotions. And turns out shame won't kill you, and embarrassment won't kill you, and rejection won't kill you. And every time you allow for those and process through them, you build your capacity. It makes you stronger, and it makes you more confident. Like, oh, yeah, I know that I can experience all of that, all of those different emotions, and still show up as my true self.
Yeah, I think that's why having a coach is like can really give you a sense of confidence, because it's not even just having the feeling of like, oh, embarrassment, or am I gonna let myself down? It's also sharing that you had that feeling. Like you never really want to admit that. Oh, I felt like embarrassed or small after that happened.
Or I felt disappointed, or I know I should have been happy in this situation, but I felt a little whatever.
Yeah, it feels hard to feel that feeling, but really hard to name it and be like, oh, I did feel that way.
Yeah, and just like even the tolerance to be seen. be seen in your vulnerability as your true self, to be misunderstood. You know, like I think a lot of times when you show up as your true self, there will be people who will misunderstand you. And it's kind of like the willingness to do that, the willingness to tell the truth when sometimes that feels hard or vulnerable. And so when you think about confidence, I think in all of those ways, for me, it makes me realize like, oh, this is not like an outward show of somebody who always just on the outside looks confident. It's actually someone who is willing to show up and be their true self in the midst of hard emotions. So
interesting, because the people who I feel like exude
confidence,
the most confidence, are really people who just show all of their like humanness.
Yes.
Like every part of their I think of like Carrie Hunt a little bit, because she'll so quickly be like, oh, I was so embarrassed to do that.
Yes.
But it just allows you to be like,
oh,
it shows that she's so confident. It really does exude confidence in a way you wouldn't expect that to.
Yes.
But she's willing to show her full self.
And if you think of so often, I think who we really are at our core, with our God-given identity, the image of us made in God's image, that part of us, we are kind of naturally confident. Like if you think of kids, before they learn to be self-conscious, before they learn to seek validation from other people, before they learn all these habits, they're kind of naturally just confident. They're okay to show when they're sad. They're okay to show when they're disappointed or hurt or whatever. And they're also they're
walk
walking
up to
around
anyone,
in the world. Yes. And you know, when you think of that, like I think of Eli and Noah, like just their natural ability to just be who they are before we learn all the reasons why it might not be safe to do that. And so it's kind of like that natural confidence. As adults, so I think too, it's like what you're saying, the willingness to be really vulnerable, to say like, oh, that felt really hurtful, or that really embarrassed me, or that was really disappointing. Just being able to be truthful and share what's really going on. But I think that this is what allows for really true connection in relationships. And I think that learning to live in your true identity as God sees you, you are his beloved. You've been given all of these skills, that you can build. Living like that and showing up like that to relationships, I think makes it so much easier to connect. Because I think when we are so often worried about ourselves, worried about what people think, worried, walking into a room and like, am I wearing the right thing? Like, and feeling that lack of confidence, it makes us needy and graspy for other people's approval and their opinions. And then we're not really showing up. Yeah.
True confidence brings others to you, because it's
very magnetizing. Yeah.
And it's not a boastful thing at all, because if you think about it, that is what turns people away.
And actually that kind of boastfulness, usually what people are masking is a lack of confidence.
Exactly.
They're trying to act
the people
that
in
way.
Their ego are actually the least confident of them all. Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah. And then I think for women in midlife, we have to remember that, we're at an age where hopefully over the years, and I think this is true of most women that I know, you look at what they've been through and how they have been humbled in so many ways, how they've faced really hard things in life and made it through that. This is a season when we can really look at the things we've been through and say like, oh yeah, I have a lot of hard earned wisdom, and instead of letting ourselves fall into this lack of confidence because maybe our bodies are changing, our callings are changing, our lives are changing in a lot of ways, our hormones are shifting, and we can kind of lose our confidence. But just to remember, like, no, we've been through a lot. We have all of this wisdom. We've been able to, make it through life with all of these different circumstances and things happening. I think it can be a season of life when confidence can really grow if we allow it to.
Yeah.
And I think for your age group, I think this is also a great time because of what you're saying about the humility piece, you know, that whatever you're going through at that stage of life, just being willing to be humble and like, yeah, I feel kind of lost about what I want to do, or I feel like being able to be honest about where you really are.
Yeah, I think that's what, it's really hard to do that. I mean, probably at any age, but really at this age, and especially just like with how social media works, it's way less normal to come out and just say what you're struggling with.
Yeah.
It's just not the normal thing to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that is hard at any age, but
yeah,
we're all going through all these new experiences.
Yes.
Whereas like you've kind of done all the things and you're kind of trying to start new things. We're all doing most things for the first time.
Yes.
And that breeds this kind of like
insecurity.
Yes.
And like, am I doing it
really
right?
What it is.
Is this
and
what I should do?
Everyone feels that way. Everyone, like with the wedding thing, everyone planning a wedding
is like, am I doing it right?
Am I doing
is
it
it going to be good?
Is this the right decision? You know, everyone feels that way. But when you're the one, when I first started it, I was like, everyone seems to know what they're doing. And even marriage.
But don't you remember too, when we were talking about with the planning of the wedding, we were like, actually, okay, at the core of what we really want is we just want to throw a great party and love on
That's
our people.
That's when it totally changed for me. I was like, you know what? I don't, at the end of the day, I know it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Yep.
And then it ended up being so beautiful. Because I didn't put so much.
But we did drop a lot of the pressure
dropped a lot of the
we were
pressure.
putting on ourselves to make sure everything was perfect.
It's the same with marriage. It's like going into new marriage. Like from the outside, it seems like, oh my gosh, like
everybody
people
knows
just
what
they're doing. And it's going to be that way when people start having kids. It's going to be that way when, you know, every stage of life feels like everyone knows what they're doing except for you.
Except for me, right.
In reality, if people would really just
open up to each other and go, yeah, I'm really struggling right now.
I actually have no idea what I'm doing.
In this stage of life, yeah. I think that's why building community, we talked about that on our last podcast, but I think that's why that's so important, because you realize you're not the only one.
No.
That the people around you are struggling with these things, you know, like you are. And again, I think being willing to admit that and sit with that discomfort of feeling either confused or lost or I'm not sure what's next, just being able to sit with that and feel it, that right there is confidence. You're trusting yourself that you can be with these hard
and
emotions.
That your body is producing those for a reason. Like it's not like obscure that your body would produce insecurity when it comes to, or your mind, when it comes to things that are new to you.
Yeah, and this brings me to a thing that I wanted to mention, which is that confidence, I think, at all different stages of life can get blocked by a few things. So I wanted to talk through those. The first would be overthinking. And
ding, ding, ding. Wow. Me.
Wow, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Approval addiction, people pleasing, emotional.
What? You looked through my journal or something? All
right. Emotional reactivity, kind of shrinking back from, you know, what you really want to just, you know, keep the peace. These are things we all do, by the way. Fear of not being enough. Fear of being too much. There are all kinds of things that get in our way of showing up as our true selves. But I think we can just come to the point where we just acknowledge that, like, oh man, I'm really overthinking all of this. I think that that's part of what we did during the wedding. We're like, oh gosh, you
just start spiraling,
majoring in the minors.
No, 100%. And it is easy to do that because there's a lot of little details that you do have to. I mean, most of the time you do have to do them, but
to tend to at some point.
I tend to get super granular on everything to make myself feel better. Yeah. You know, in quotes, because it doesn't actually make me feel any better. It actually makes me feel worse and more like seeking approval. That is hard
and if
for me.
you think about, like, I wrote these down because these are like some patterns that come with that. So if you think of these these are kind of self-protective patterns, overthinking, people pleasing. What is the emotion that we're avoiding? So when we're overthinking, we have this fear of regret. I'm going to wish that I had.
Yeah. What if I had done this?
Yes. People pleasing is kind of a fear of disconnection. So you're doing everything you can to people please. But in the process of that, you're not connecting really. They're connecting with a false version of you because you're just doing the thing.
Giving them what you think they want.
Yeah. Perfectionism, fear of shame, shrinking back, a fear of being too much, emotional reactivity. You're usually doing that because you have this fear of being vulnerable. So most of the time, those protective mechanisms are just us trying not to feel an emotion.
Yep.
Overthink, stay in your head so you don't feel.
And the funny thing is, it's always still there.
Yeah.
Even if you use the overthinking to get rid of the fear of like doing the wrong thing.
Right.
Your fear of doing the wrong thing is still there. This reminds me of Angela's talk at Coach Week when she, and I have thought about this so much recently.
Tell me.
Because she talked about, and this goes with this kind of, we talk about not getting our hopes up.
Yes.
Because we don't want to be disappointed.
Because we don't want to be disappointed.
But
it's a fear of the emotion of disappointment.
Yes, but in not getting your hopes up, you
currently are disappointed.
Disappointment.
Yes.
And so why do that? Yes. The thing you're afraid of, you're already putting yourself through by trying to avoid the thing. it's just really counterintuitive. True. It's funny.
Yeah, and you think that you're lacking confidence, but what you're actually lacking is being able to create safety for yourself in these hard emotions. Being able to regulate yourself when you feel fear or...
And you're protecting yourself because there's always a chance. I'm just like using overthinking, your fear of what if I choose the wrong thing or what if I do the wrong thing. Well, that's always going to be a possibility. You might look back at something and be like, oh, well, that might not have been the right path. Yeah. But feeling that right now is not really going to change your future at all.
Right.
Things are going to happen whether you try to avoid that now or not. Yes. So you might as well just sit with it, feel it, and then realize like, okay, that's not serving me. Right. And it's making me insecure and it's making me weird and needy and like people can feel it oozing off of me. Yes. Yes. When you're around people and you're like, something is going on with them.
This person really needs my approval, validation,
attention. I feel like I couldn't say anything to make them feel what they needed to feel. Well, no, you couldn't.
No, you can't. That's exactly right. And so this is definitely like a way of like a self-regulation. This is something that you have to give yourself. And so I think part of it is, it's like we talk about a lot on here, but I think part of it is taking a really good pause when you're feeling that way. And just acknowledging it like, oh, okay, it's coming across as maybe, a lack of confidence, but is there an emotion here that I'm unwilling to feel, that I won't acknowledge or whatever, and getting back to what's the underlying thing, like what's really going on. And sometimes I think just taking a pause can help you see that. And it's hard to do that in the moment. Like all of these things that we talk about, it's easy to say right now. Yeah. I was telling my coaches who are doing this visibility challenge, I'm like, okay, we're here on this call together. We're so excited to get our workout in the world. We've never been more excited than we are here at this moment. But tomorrow, when we post that post or do that Instagram story, all that doubt and lack of confidence is going to creep in. And what we have to be willing to do in that moment is pause and say, no,
I knew this was going to happen.
Yes. And I know that I have the capacity to feel anything. I can feel embarrassed. I can feel, I can remember times when I was first learning how to be visible and, I would post things and I would just get like white hot, embarrassed or it's hard to even describe the emotion, that you feel like in putting your work out in the world or in all different kinds of ways that we're doing this. But you probably felt a little bit that way when you first started being on the podcast.
Like, oh, definitely. Still sometimes. I mean, like, but it is, you're scared to be vulnerable.
Right.
And because that's what it is. Like, people seeing you when you're scared, or people seeing you doing something when you're not 100% feeling like you have the confidence. Because really, you never really get to that point unless you do it.
Yes.
So you're going to put yourself out there at some point and be vulnerable.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, too, is that doing the thing then does help you build confidence, because you're like, oh, I did the thing and I didn't die. Yeah, yes. I felt a little whatever, disappointment, rejection, or whatever. You build your capacity for it. And I think, you know, as we build our emotional capacity in lots of ways, all of these things kind of tend to correct themselves. And then I think the benefit of that is that then your relationships can really deepen, because you're not afraid to be seen. You're not afraid to really be known. You're not afraid to put yourself out there, whether that's in a relationship or whether that's, you know, like we were talking about on social media. I think being vulnerable is one of those things that, you know, it's a skill that we can practice.
And it's just so refreshing to be around people that
who have this skill. Yes.
So refreshing, and it's so comforting. And the more you practice it, the more other people around you also feel more comfortable to practice it.
Yes.
So it has a really cool effect that just like keeps on going, because once someone is vulnerable, then another person shares. And I just love the thought that, like, it just makes it feel so much more tangible to know that confidence is already there.
Yes.
And we just haven't. We're not always accessing it.
We're blocked from it because of our ego, or because of, because it's a quality of your true self that's always there. Because I think
when you're really not feeling it, you just look at these other people who you think have it.
Yes.
And it feels such like that doesn't belong to you. Yes. That's for them and it's not for me.
Yes.
It feels so far away when you're not like accessing it.
Yeah, but what if you believed that it's just you returning to your true self?
Mm-hmm. Who you really are.
Yeah.
Because that's really what it is. Really it's like
without
just
the
who
mask,
you really are.
Without the ego, without the things that we're trying to do to protect ourselves or impress other people or get validation from other people. You take away all of that. It's just basically stripping away the things that are in the way of you just living as your
That's another self. Cool thing about it too, is like, I think we imagine confidence as like outgoing and loud and a bigger presence, but that's not what it is.
Not what it is.
For everyone.
I have a good story for this. This happened before you were born, so you've probably heard the story though. The first time that I ever hosted Thanksgiving was after I had gone through a really, really rough time, and I was hosting my side of the family, and I was in like my first or second year of residency. And this is when I had the Martha Stewart.
You were really going hard.
I had the Martha Stewart book, and I was doing her magazine. I made the Mayflower with my bare hands. I made all of this homemade, stuff for Thanksgiving. My most vivid memory is this was like 2:00 in the morning. This was, again, back when I thought I didn't need sleep. This was 2:00 in the morning. I was standing on top of the counter getting flour down, and dropped the flour ended up going everywhere, all over the place. I was listening to Counting Crows. That's when I fell in love with Counting Crows. So I was listening to Counting Crows. And by the way, let me just say, Counting Crows is a great soundtrack to this time of year. It's very moody,
very much,
and amazing,
very much.
And I lived in a small little house in Johnson City, but my Thanksgiving table was so beautiful. It was my first time ever doing all the stuff that we've been doing upstairs today. It was the first time I ever did it. And so I had the table ready and all the stuff. I had the kids' table with the Mayflower and the little headdresses. It was spectacular. And as soon as I opened the door, as soon as everybody got there and I opened the door, because really the truth of the matter is I was really struggling emotionally.
Yes. You're doing all these things to try
to say, I've got it together, guys.
Welcome to my Thanksgiving.
Welcome to my first Thanksgiving. That's what I imagined. And as soon as I opened the door, Uncle Mark and Aunt Gina were there, and I started bawling.
Aww.
I started bawl crying, and they were like, welcome to Thanksgiving, and I'm like sobbing. It makes me very emotional. And they were like hugging me. They're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm not okay.
Why did I do this?
But come on in and we'll have some food. But like, I think back to that, and like just my willingness, maybe it wasn't even a willingness, maybe it was just the emotions were too high. But I've always been like that. I've always been like either on the verge of tears or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's kind of disarming.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, I did all this, but really it doesn't matter. I'm just glad that you're here.
But I'm just sad right now, and I'm so glad you're here, and I love you so much, and thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So it's like instantly, it
makes the whole
we're connected
room change. Imagine if you wouldn't have had that moment.
Yeah.
Everyone then feels.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, is she okay? She seems kind of like.
Yeah. But it's like instantly I can really connect because I'm being my true vulnerable self, and they instantly connect. And we had, it was a great day. But I'm just saying that I think so often we're trying to hide all of that.
Yeah.
And just like pretend to be okay or whatever. And it's okay to be who we really are. And I think the more that we do that, it's not weakness, it's actually strength. And we're building our capacity, not just for ourselves, but I think we're building this capacity that so other people can feel like, oh, it's okay here for me also.
It's safe here.
It's safe here for me to be who I really am.
And that is really like what we want for everyone. Like that's when I think about what I want people to feel when they're around me. I don't want them to immediately
be so
like,
impressed with you.
No.
Right.
I want them to go, feel comfortable and
relatable and
like I'm
like
warm
you're connected.
and safe and
yeah. So I guess the short version of the story is it's okay if you sob on Thanksgiving.
Listen, I hope so, because I just be sobbing every day.
I know.
Really anything could get us sobbing.
Yeah. So anyways, as we're approaching the holidays, I hope that helps you to really build some true connection with the people that you love. We don't have to wear masks. We don't have to pretend like, I remember having moments of this at the wedding where somebody would say something like heartfelt and genuine to me, and I would literally just start crying.
All right.
Like, thank you
I gotta
so much.
let this hit me right now. I can't handle this all tonight.
I know. I did that a couple different times at the welcome party. I just remember several times like getting very tender and choked up.
I definitely am not like fully allowing all that. I've been avoiding Carrie, my coach, like the plague.
So you don't have to face all of your emotions.
All of it.
Yeah.
So maybe it will come out at Thanksgiving. We'll see.
Maybe it will, Em. Hey,
we'll see.
In solidarity.
You're welcome for disarming the place. Everyone's going to feel truly very comfortable around me.
I love it. Okay, do we have a few favorites that we can share with our friends?
I know you did.
I do. Do you want me to start?
You start. Let me get my gears
Let me start
turning.
because right now I am wearing my favorite pants of the season. These are my brown barrel pants from Amazon. They're in our Amazon store. We'll link them below.
The queen of Amazon. You really are.
I do find the best things. But
really
let me just tell you, I have worn these pants. I've had them maybe a month. I've worn them 20 times.
Wow.
I know. Like, think of cost per wear. They were probably $30.
Girl math.
I love them. Girl math, for sure. I love them so much. Katie did say, if you're watching on YouTube, that I did look like a gingerbread man because I have on my brown shirt, my brown pants. I've got my second favorite, my brown Tecovas sweater, and I've got my red and white plaid apron on because I'm in work mode right now.
Yeah.
So there you go. My brown pants, you need them. They're so good. And then my brown Tecovas sweater. I call this my emotional support sweater, but I've just been wearing it at night. I've been wearing it in the mornings when I'm sitting to do my work. And anyways, this sweater I love.
Love both of those things. Okay. I actually thought of something, and it leads me into like a little tidbit that I need to talk about because one of my favorite things, I was looking at your boots. I got these like burgundy shade suede Tecovas for the rehearsal dinner.
So jealous of them.
I know. I really did we went to the mall. It was like the Monday before the wedding, and really like we had to find some things.
Okay.
Did not have a rehearsal dinner dress.
Their dress
did not have boots, whatever. Yeah. So luckily we did find all the things we need. One of my favorite things is the lady in the Reformation store in Nashville. I can't remember her name, but she absolutely took me under her wing.
Yep.
And pulled out every white dress in that place.
That dress was gorgeous.
Yes. Quick story is that, so she was very helpful, but she had me she just brought everything, and she was like, if you don't like anything, just don't I don't care. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to feel upset, but try everything on just to see. 'Cause there was this one dress and it was so big looking and just like no shape. And I was like, what is she thinking, this lady? I tried that dress on. It was the most gorgeous, like cream white, silky. You see it on the hanger. It's one of those things you see it. It looks horrible. Yeah. And then you try it on. It was the most gorgeous thing. We were all like jaw on the floor.
Wow.
Like, you have to buy that. I don't know where you're wearing that. You might wear that on your rehearsal dinner, but you're buying that. And so then we were like, okay, we came here with no options. Now I'm leaving like
with these options.
We go to check out, and she was like, do you want me to read your total out loud? And I was like, oh, well, that's weird. Why would she say that? She showed me the bill, $1,300. I was like,
how much was the dress?
I was like, well, I know one of these dresses was not that. The dress was like $900. And I like panicked because I really felt bad because I was hyping this dress up. Like, we were like, I can't believe you found this perfect dress. Well, no wonder it fits so good. Because I've never had that. Literally. So quickly I was like, yeah, we're going to have to take that one off. But what I was really originally going to talk about was, everyone talks about the wedding, but the rehearsal dinner was also.
Oh, it was so fun.
So fun. And
shout out to Miss Dawn. We love you so much.
Yeah, she planned the whole thing.
The most fun rehearsal dinner ever.
It was so fun and so sweet and like so geared towards
so thoughtful.
So thoughtful. And that beautiful. Night was just as like sweet and precious. And I'm so thankful we had that night before the wedding, because we really got to like talk to everyone and see everyone like close.
And she hosted it at Chattanooga Whiskey. Such a great venue. It was just beautiful.
It was just so perfect. And I just feel like the rehearsal dinner doesn't get talked about enough, because the wedding, of course, is like a big...
Honestly, most of the time when I'm talking about the wedding, I'm kind of talking about the whole week. We're talking about
the whole week. It was a week.
It was a week.
But I just needed to say, like, the rehearsal dinner was so fantastic.
Her flowers... just everything about it, the way she had the flowers, the napkins. Did you notice the napkins? They were to die for. Miss Dawn, I need all the details on the napkins.
Yeah. But
they were beautiful.
My boots, like, really made my outfit, and I was just...
Yeah, it was great. Y'all look so darn cute.
It was fun.
So precious.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, we hope you enjoy whatever holidays are coming up. I'm not sure when this episode's coming out.
Maybe before Christmas. I think before Christmas.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoy this whole season. Get out and do some brisk walks in the cold.
I was thinking about our time last year in our big coats, walking up and down with the snow on the ground.
I know.
Such good times.
So good. All right. We love you so much. Thank you for every review, every comment, every message you send us. We appreciate your encouragement. We love you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye
for now.